Alright, so here we are. We are now 2 weeks away from Duberville. Actually, 2 weeks to the day for me. Almost exactly 2 weeks to time. It's about noon now. Competition starts next Friday, to 2 Fridays at 7 o'clock. So at this time in 2 weeks, I'll be getting ready to do my my pregame ritual. That's what I'll talk about today. Like I said, with 2 weeks out, we're pretty much done training now. We're as strong as we're going to get. We're going to talk about the mental aspect and how do you prepare for your show. So let's get into it. Alright, so now we're down to crunch time. We're 2 weeks out from the competition. We're getting ready for the show. I said this is the time where it's more of a mental game than it is in the gym. You still want to keep in the gym. You still want to go through your reps. I scale back a lot. I'm not saying 50%, maybe scale down to about 60, 70% of your competition weight. Like I said, your strengths there. You're working on technique. You're working on form. Trying to get your mind right at this point. So like I said, one of the big things I do, about 2 weeks I scale down. The week before, 5 days before, I completely shut down, and it's nothing but stretching, massage, flexibility work. I don't touch no more weights. The last thing you want to do now this close to a competition is tweak something, but that's the last thing you want to do. You don't want to get hurt going into a show. You want to go in as healthy as possible. So right now we're pretty much healthy, so that's what we're going to plan on doing. Alright, so one thing I want to talk about, this is something that I used to do. I don't do it so much no more. When it's contest day, for your local shows, you're looking at probably at least 3, 4, maybe 5 hour long day. In that 5 hours, you might compete for at the most 5 minutes. So the thing that I did to try to replicate that somehow, it's tough. You don't get to warm up like you do in the gym. You're going to be doing max deadlift, you're going to do something for reps, you can do something crazy. You don't have the time, and it's not just a local level of warming up. The guys at Worlds at the highest level complain about the same thing. So you need to teach yourself how to go full speed in competition without having the right time to warm up. One way that I would do that is I would spend a day in the gym. I would go and spend 5 or 6 hours at the gym trying to do just my 5 lifts, run them through to about 75%, 80%, something like that. You're not trying to hit max numbers, but go in, do your warm-ups. You're going to have a chance to do your warm-ups competition day. Then you're going to go through the rolls and you're going to do all that. First event, do your first event, sit down. Go sit down for an hour or two, bullshit a little bit, relax like you're going to do on competition day. Do your second event, same thing, go and relax. Run through your 5 events, take 4 or 5 hours, minimum warm-ups. That'll give your body an idea of what it's going to go through that day in the competition. You're not going to have time to sit there and run through your deadlift pattern and get warmed up and do your stretches. They're just going to be like, all right, heavyweight masters, let's go, you're up, you're in line, getting ready to go do the event. The reason I said I don't do that so much anymore is my shows, one, have gotten bigger where they're stretched over 2 or 3 days. So you have time to warm up if you're doing 2 or 3 events in a day. The other thing, my first experience at Nationals in Louisville, it was like a cattle trough. We just got in line for a good hour. We're in line, then we were told to go do our deadlift set. And we're looking 12, 13 hours for them competitions with 300, 400 athletes. You're not going to spend 12, 13 hours in the gym to do 5 minutes worth of work. So it's good to find a way to do that somehow in the practice. Get yourself used to what you're going to go through possibly. If this is your first show, you have no idea what it's like going in. Just go enjoy, have fun. But as you see, learn something from each show, something you can put into your training, your preparation for the show to make the next one better. Alright, so another little piece of advice is the mental aspect of competing. I can pretty much safely say that I have never been the strongest person in my class when I competed, with the exception of the times when I'm the only person in my class, or maybe my first novice show. All the bigger shows, I've never been the strongest person, and not that I've won them bigger shows, almost won nationals. I do place well, I compete well, and that's the thing too. Competing versus strength, that comes down to mental, that comes down to being prepared. I like to run through the events in my mind weeks up to the competition. Keep thinking about how you're going to do it. Picture each rep, picture how many reps you're going to get. You should have an idea going into the show how many reps you're going to hit on a certain event. The thing too, you want to learn your competitors, you watch them. A lot of times they reseed. Going last is a better advantage. You don't need to go in and pull 25 reps on a deadlift when the guy that got second got 12 reps. So go in smart. If you know a number of guys hit, try to hit one more than them. If you know there's a freak and he's going to pull 40 reps on the card deadlift, and you know you can get second place with 20, pull 20 reps. Don't try to pull 34 trying to beat the guy that you know is going to get 40, because he's going to do one more than you and beat you. So it's all about going in smart, leading up to it, thinking about it, going through your mind, picturing the events, picturing the numbers you need to go. You don't need to win every event. Look at them as a whole. You want to finish better at the end of the day. Don't need to win every event to do that. So like I said, just be prepared mentally going into your show. Alright, so like today's episode, we're just on location a little bit down in the park. It's a nice day, just get out of the house. Not in the gym today. I'm going to go a little later, do some run through. Like I said, at this point now, I'm just, not on my strength where it's at. I'm just trying to stay healthy, so just do a little bit of stuff. I got my new shirt on, a motivated shirt. Good friend of mine, John Wargo, basically a YouTube sensation now. Go check him out on YouTube at John Wargo. I've got my new hat, as you noticed, my Gonzola hat. But just basically, I'm just talking to you about what I'm doing today. Like I said, I'm going to go to the gym a little bit later. But when you start getting this close, like I said, this show's all about competition and prep. That's why we're not in the gym today. We're just out enjoying a nice day. Alright, so there you go. 2 weeks left to Duberville. Talking a little about contest prep. Next week episode, we're going to talk about travel. That's the one that I've really been wanting to work on because I feel that's very important. So getting ready to fly down to Florida in November for Worlds. Be the first time that I've actually flown. So a lot of the tips I'm going to give you next week on travel are going to be stuff that I hope works because it'll be the first time I fly. But just do's and don'ts about traveling, how to get your gear there, how to be prepared, and stuff like that. So this week, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. A little bit about mental stuff, being prepared for your show. Like I said, I'm 2 weeks out. It's all mind games now. We're all going through trying to get ready. So hopefully I helped you get ready for your next show. As always, like, subscribe, share. Any questions, hit me up on social media. Check out John Wargo on YouTube. His link will be up right here. And we'll see you next week. Godzilla out.